Valerie Lagarde Amora.
Hi guys! Good morning!
Good morning!
Taas ng energy ha, diba? Di mamaya may pa-something sila ata sa inyo, no? But first, I would just like to say I'm very happy and excited na may pressure naman ako with all your mobile phones. Ganito pala yung feeling, no? Pero I know that you are documenting this. And personally, no, I would like to thank, of course, the team of Len for having me. Because whenever I'm invited in this kind of events, I really see it as a wonderful opportunity to share something that I'm very passionate about. Alam niyo, hindi niyo natatanong, I'm very passionate about my work in Sun Life. And for today, I will share with you one of my passions, which is financial freedom. Okay? Pero bago tayo tumumbok sa financial freedom, syempre, ang journey papunta dyan is none other than financial planning. However, sadly, there's a misconception na pagdating sa financial planning, that's only for individuals who are, well, first, who are rich, di ba? Yung may pera na talaga. Or yung medyo nakakaluwag-luwag sa buhay, di man sobrang yaman, pero nakakaluwag-luwag sa buhay, sila yung pwede mag-financial planning, okay? So, let me share with you kung sino ba yung dapat mag-financial planning through this very short activity. Alam nyo, bagong-bago itong aking icebreaker para sa inyo. Put a finger down, di ba? Hello, hashtag pandemic. Okay? So, can I ask everybody to raise their right hand? Ayan. So, parang yung iba, naku, dapat pala nagdala ako ng tripod kanina, no? Kasi walang lagayan yung mobile phone ko ngayon. Pinapa-raise hand. Okay. So, raise your right hand. And I know that you know already the mechanics. Put a finger down if what I'm saying is applicable to you. So first, put a finger down if you are generating some form of income. Ayan. Kayo na bahala kung thumb or yung pinakamaliit. Number 2, put a finger down if you're about to start a family. Yes, James? Nakaka-relate? Wala? Okay. Next, put a finger down if you are the head of the family or considered to be a breadwinner or kahit hindi breadwinner, more or less, nagbibigay ka pa konti-konti, di ba? Pantulong sa pamilya mo. Ayan, put a finger down. Next, put a finger down if you have a child or children. Ay, di nagbaba yung iba. Nako, sige. And lastly, put a finger down if you have dreams in life yet to be fulfilled. Okay? So, can I just see everybody's fingers? Dalawa. Uy, pinakamababa natin, isa. Okay? So, thank you so much for joining. So, ang tanong dyan, sino ba yung kailangan ng financial planning? Yung nakabababa ng 2, ng 3, ng 4? Actually po, sa totoo lang, kapag nagbaba kayo ng kahit isang finger lang, you already need financial planning. And financial planning is actually the journey that we need to take for you to achieve what we call financial freedom. Now, if you ask us about Sun Life, we can always give you data about the company. Pero at the end of the day, something I'm very proud about the company is actually our purpose. Ito po yung parang North Star namin. Everything that we do is always based on our company's purpose. And what is our company's purpose? I believe you reviewed this, no? With Cheska. So, gusto ba natin mag-recitation? Hindi na. Pakita ko na. It's to help our clients achieve lifetime financial security and help them live healthier lives. Actually, pag tinitingnan ko itong purpose namin, may isang keyword dito na napaka-importante para sa akin, no? And anong keyword yon? It's actually the term lifetime. In other words, hindi namin intensyon na maging financially secured ka pag bata ka. Or kapag nagkapamilya ka lang. Or kapag tumanda ka. Gusto namin, you're financially secured and you're living your bestest life every stage along the way. Kaya po dito sa company, we actually developed a very special tool which we share with our clients and we call that Money for Life. Sino may gusto ng Money for Life? Siyempre, lahat tayo, di ba? Gusto natin ng money for life. Because in reality, every life stage that we encounter in life actually requires us to ensure that we have enough resources to fulfill our needs and wants for that particular life stage. Ang maganda dito sa Money for Life 2 ni Sun Life is that, number 1, it's very holistic. Number 2, it's long-term. So pinapakita niya sa'yo, hindi lang kung anong stage nandyan ka, but eventually, moving forward in the future, ano yung mga kailangan mo when you go to that particular life stage. So isa-isahin natin very quickly kung ano yung mga life stages na yan. Una, we have what we call getting started. O, describe ko yung getting started Generally, an individual who's part of the getting started life stage is somebody na usually kakagraduate, nagtatrabaho, and starting to build independence. Ito yung mga individuals na ang focus nila is sarili nila. Kasi wala pa silang dependents to take care of. So ang focus more on me. So ito yung mga individuals na talagang ang gusto is, satisfy their needs and wants, especially mga travels, diba? Shopping and all. So that's the first life stage, getting started. Now, from getting started, the next one is moving up. Pag sinabi natin moving up, it's where the focus shifts. Kung nung getting started na ang focus na sa atin, sa moving up, ang focus na sa ibang tao na. Because that's the time you start building your own family. So, kung dati, ang gusto mong tugunan, is yung pangangailangan mo, ngayon, ang gusto mong tugunan is yung pangangailangan ng pamilya mo. Paano ba kung wala naman akong family? Diba? #single. Kung wala namang family, minsan, there are people, though they don't have their own family, they actually have either their parents or siblings to support. So, kapag may ganun ka ng klaseng responsibility, nandun ka na rin sa moving up. The next life stage is what we call preparing ahead. So, pag preparing ahead, general description nito, if you have children, more or less nandun na sila sa last few years or maybe last few semesters ng college. At alam natin dito sa Pilipinas, pag nakagraduate na ng kolehiyo, more or less, yung anak mo on his own na. Kasi maghanap na siya ng trabaho, mag-earn na siya ng income for himself. So, yung focus rather, nag-shift ulit siya. Nag-start na focus ko sarili ko, focus ko pamilya ko, pero pag graduate na tong anak ko, hindi na niya ako masyadong kailangan, yung focus babalik sa akin. And this is the time wherein that individual will actually focus in nurturing his health and wealth. Bakit? Kasi a few years na lang, maaari mag-enter na siya ng retirement years. And finally, the last life stage is living a legacy. Retired na, and just making sure na yung retirement years is something that's very fun, enjoyable, comfortable. After all, pag inisip nyo, you've been working for the past 40 years. Actually, isa yan sa mga namimiss ko, Kasi nung estudyante tayo, may summer break. Kapag nagtrabaho ka na, wala nang break, diba? Tuloy-tuloy na siya. And believe it or not, one day magigising ka na lang, oh my gosh, 40 years kang nagtatrabaho. So I think you deserve a really good and comfortable retirement. So, if I were to ask you, nasa ang life stage na po kayo? Siyempre, cross out ko na yung living a legacy, di ba? Looking at you, ang babata nyo pa po. Can you guys relate if you are part of the getting started? Meron bang getting started dito? Si Sir James, si Ace, getting started. Okay. How about moving up? Meron ba nasa moving up? Okay, si Ma'am? Bedeline. Ayan, thank you so much. Preparing ahead. Parang feeling ko wala ba, Kasi you're all kind of pretty young. Miss Jill talaga? You're already part of the preparing ahead?
Yeah, yung anak ko, kakagraduate lang ng college.
Oh, congratulations, Miss Jill! Ayan! Okay, so...
May isa pa.
May isa pa. One last to go. Congratulations for that. Now, since we have identified these life stages, yung susunod ko namang i-introduce sa inyo is actually the financial needs. So, yan po yung may color blue na bar, may color yellow na bars. So, bakit may color blue, may color yellow? Pag color blue, those are unexpected life events. So, for example, you can see here emergency fund. Unexpected kasi hindi naman naman natin alam kung kailan darating yung emergency na yan. So sabi dito sa Money for Life tool, dapat yung emergency funds mo, it's available to you regardless kung nasa ang life stage ka.
Tama.
Ay, yun. Amen, di ba nga, sir? Next, income protection. Kung mapapansin nyo yung income protection from getting started to preparing ahead. Bakit? Kasi pagdating ng retirement, obviously, we don't earn income anymore. But of course, things are changing right now, no? Minsan kapag may business ka, no, you can still continue pursuing that. Health protection, o regardless of life stage, kailangan natin yan tuloy-tuloy. And actually, mas nag-i-increase pa nga yan. I'm sure you got this from the last session. Mas nag-i-increase yung need for health protection, lalo na pagdating ng living a legacy. And we have our education, retirement, estate transfer, savings for milestones. Ito naman yung mga expected life events. Ito yung mga sinusulat natin. Although, baka nagtatype na lang kayo sa devices nyo, no? Because very digital, sabi kayo. So, ito yung mga nilalagay nyo sa mga devices nyo. What are the things that you want to achieve in life? So, I'm loving all of the responses coming from our Zoom as well, no? Nakita ko yung answer kanina ni Mommy Sigrid. Tama ba ako? And thank you so much for joining us also in Zoom. Ayan. Okay. Now, since we know the life stages, how do we start? Yun yung tanong, di ba? Saan ba ako magsisimula? Litong-lito ako. Kasi sa totoo lang, when we talk about financial planning, it was never something that was discussed, well, ako, just to share with you my personal experience, it wasn't something that was discussed at home. I mean, yung value ng savings, syempre tuturo yan ng magulang mo, di ba? Pero as to the discussion on insurance, discussion on building your investment portfolio, hindi namin masyadong napag-usapan yan. At nung nag-enter ako ng eskwelahan, it was mentioned, but it was never really discussed in details. Diba? Kaya actually, nung graduate ako, ang pangarap ko lang talaga, magkaroon ng 1 milyong piso. Kasi sabi ko, pag may 1 million pesos ako, nung yaman-yaman ko na, magre-retire na talaga ako. Not until I discovered and became part of Sun Life. So how do we start? This is actually what we call the financial planning pyramid. And this was designed in such a way that we do this step by step. Hindi pwedeng doon ka sa tuktok, transfer agad. Kailangan magsisimula muna tayo dun sa foundation, yung pinakababa. At yung pinakababa mentions liquidity and protection. So, why do we have to start with liquidity? First, when it comes to financial planning, you have to check your cash inflows and outflows. Diba? Paano tayo mag-a-accumulate? Paano tayo mag-i-invest? Kulang pa pala yung pera mo. Or paano tayo magkukuha na mag-i-invest sa una mong life insurance policy? Yung gastos mo, ganito, ganyan. So very important for you to actually check, no, your liquidity, your cash flows. Is it enough, yung inflow mo? Yung outflow mo, saan ba napupunta? You have to assess that. Now, once you have assessed that, ayan, we can continue with our financial planning pyramid. And the first one is protection. Now, for protection, I wouldn't engage anymore with health because that was your topic, the previous session. So let me focus more on income protection. Sa bawat isang pamilyang household dito sa Pilipinas, ganito po yung usual cycle. Sa isang pamilya, meron tayong income provider, si income provider nagtatrabaho, at lahat ng kinikita niya to support the family. Pero ito po yung tanong ko, paano kapag itong cycle na ito biglang nag-stop dahil nawala yung income provider?
Wala na.
Sino yung papalit? Diba? Sino yung papalit? What if the income provider was taken out of the picture? How will the cycle continue? Alam niyo po, ang mga Filipinos, may intention yan na tumulong sa pamilya nila. Tama ba? Dati, di ba, nasabi ko 1 million pesos, yun yung dream ko, no? So parang sabi ko, paano mo makakaipon ng 1 million pesos? Alam ko na. Ito yung traditional instruments na alam ko. I have my savings account, I have my alkansya, di ba, napaka-traditional. Sabi ko, sige, mag-ipon ako 2,500 kunyari per month, no? 2,500. And then eventually, lalago to 1 million. Tapos if ever, enjoy ko siya. Kung may mangyari naman sa akin, at least may 1 million yung pamilya ko. Kaso, napaisip din ako, knock on wood. Paano kung nakakahulog pa lang ako ng 3 buwan? Eh di 7.5 lang yung naiwan ko sa pamilya ko. Diba? Paano kung mabubuo yung 1 million na pinapangarap ko? And that's where life insurance will come in. Life insurance actually gives us the opportunity to do that for our families. And the good news is, given all of the developments in the industry right now, if something bad happens, life insurance will be there to help your family out. If nothing bad happens, nag-evolve na po ang mga insurance products ngayon, and you can actually enjoy the benefits of a life insurance plan even if you're living. So yun po yung maganda. Kaya po, itong tanong na to, what if the income provider was suddenly taken out of the picture? How will the cycle continue? Well, here in Sun Life, we believe that the cycle can continue because there's a life insurance policy that can enter the picture and continue the cycle for the family. I recall one of our brand ambassadors saying this, we invest on life insurance not because someone must die, but because someone must continue living. And that's your family, that's your loved ones. So, that's the protection aspect. Now, etong protection aspect and liquidity, bakit dito tayo dapat mag-umpisa? I'm sure madaming nakaka-relate dito, maybe even your followers, no? Na nung pandemic, kapag hindi mo na-address yung protection, and for example, no, nauna yung pagbili ng kotse, hulugan. Tapos biglang nawalan ng trabaho because of pandemic. Nawala yung pangkulog, walang emergency fund, nag-give up na yung kotse, wala pang panggastos. So for us not to sacrifice or prematurely sell anything that we invested in the accumulation part, we have to really start with liquidity and protection. Okay? So okay po tayo doon, liquidity and protection. So next, let's go to accumulation. So ito na yung fun part, no? Kasi pag accumulation, in short, nagpapayaman na tayo, nagpapadami tayo ng pera. So how do we do that? Actually, in making your money earn more money, there are 3 elements that you have to consider. The first one is the element of money. Ask yourselves, how much ba ang willing kang i-invest? It can be 1,000 per year, 2,000 per year. Doesn't matter kung ano yung amount. Pero ang tanong kasi dito is, ano yung willing kang i-commit? So in other words, you can start with 1,000 pesos per month. Walang problema dun. Pero pag sinabi natin 1,000 pesos per month, by hook or by crook, every month may 1,000 tayo because that's our commitment. Now, how can we make our money earn more money? Let's look at the second element. And the second element is the element of interest. We have to explore financial instruments that can give us better than inflation returns. And given that we are already in the world of technology, we can go online and research about this. Madami na pong companies who's actually offering such. And dito, ang goal natin is mapalaki po yung value ng pera. No? Kasi po, meron pong tinatawag na inflation. Inflation, di ba, simply put, that's the rise in the prices of goods and services. So we don't want na makain ng inflation yung pera natin. Just a simple example, nung grade school ako, sir, natatandaan ko, 39 pesos iniipon ko every Friday para makabili ng cheeseburger meal sa isang fast food. 39 pesos. Ngayon, magkano na po ang cheeseburger meal? Nagulat ako nung nag-drive-thru ako, nasa 137 pesos na, di ba? So, that's inflation. Kung forever ko itatago yung 39 pesos sa bulsa ko, at ngayon ako bibili ng cheeseburger meal ko, wala na, no? Hindi kaya ng cheeseburger alone. Hindi kaya, I don't think makakabili pa ako ng french fries. Baka Kaya ba yun ng juice? Baka pang juice na. Ano ba?
Not even
Not even a
a
burger, right? So yan yung mga factors. Ayan, pero gusto ko matikman yun, sir, ha? Na ano ko. Ayan, so yan yung mga factors that we actually have to consider. And finally, we also have the factor of time. Alam nyo, pag financial planning, hindi lang to puro finances na usapan. Usapang time din po. Time is a very tricky blessing, di ba? You can always spend it, but never save it. In other words, yung panahon na ito, hindi na ulit mauulit ito. So we have to make the most out of it. So if we combine all of this, imagine, it's possible that your 1,000 pesos per month or 12,000 pesos per year can be 1 million if, for example, you were able to get a financial instrument that gives you 8% returns. In 26 years, you get your 1 million pesos. Diba? Sabi, no, tagal naman. Nag-compute na ng age, no? Nasa 30 ako, plus 26, 56. Hindi, gusto ko yumaman na mas maaga. O sige, baka naman kaya mo ng 60,000 per year or that's 5,000 pesos. O yan. In 13 years, kung 4%, 12 years, kung 6%, etc. Basta ang point lang natin dito is to make your money earn more money, explore other options as to how you can grow it. And that should include the factors of time, money, and interest. And this is what we use para sa mga milestones natin sa buhay. Just to give you some numbers. When we talk about education, I'm sure na-experience to ni Miss Jel, no? Ang tuition fee po, pag tumaas yan, wagas. According to an article from Money Max, ang tuition fee inflation rate actually is times 2 of the average inflation of goods here in the Philippines. So kung nag-average tayo ng 5%, more or less ang tuition fee nasa 10%. So kung, let's say, you have a university in mind, tinanong mo, magkano tuition fee ngayon? Let's say, 50,000 pesos per semester. Eh yung anak mo, 1-year-old pa lang. Imagine, because of K-12, 18 years, no? In the next 17 years, magkano na yung 50,000 per semester kung 10% inflation? No? We do the math. Kaya importante talaga, we make our money earn more money. Next, let's talk about retirement. Very simple computation. What if dumating na yung point na 60 years old na kayo ni Honey Bunch? Honey Bunch, exit pa rin. Ni Honey Bunch. Tapos sabi niyo ni Honey Bunch, 60 years old na tayo, mag-retire na tayo. Compute nga natin, Honey Bunch, kung magkano yung ating expenses for food alone. Actually, nang nakita ko ito talaga yung bumasag doon sa 1 million na pinapangarap ko sa buhay. 2 people, dahil mag-asawa, compute natin magkano yung food in the next 15 years. So that's from 60 years old to 75 years old. 365 days, 3 meals na lang. Wag na natin silang pagmeriendahin, no? 3 meals. Morning, lunch, and dinner. How much is the meal? 80 pesos. Naku, saan naman ako makakita ng 80 pesos? Pero for computation purposes, peg natin sa 80 pesos. Alam niyo po, if you do the math, the total expense on food alone is 2.6 million. So sabi ko, nung nakita ko yan, grabe, no? Kahit pala hiwalayan ko yung asawa ko, hindi pa rin enough yung aking 1 million pesos. And we're talking about food alone. We all know that during retirement, that's where more expenses will continue. Sabi ko nga, no, our salary may retire with us, but expenses, never. It will continue. So, that's why we really have to focus on accumulation. And finally, ayan, so mayaman na tayo. Naka-accumulate na tayo. Nandun na tayo sa transfer stage. Actually, dito, summarize ko na lang, no? When we talk about wealth transfer, making sure that there's a smooth flow of your assets from your generation to the next. And to ensure that, meron po tayong tinatawag na estate tax. So believe it or not, there's tax that should be paid para ma-access po ng inyong mga heirs o ng pamilya ninyo, no? Yung naiwan yung assets. So how much? 6%, more or less. Pero syempre may detailed computation yan. So again, we have to consider that. Pero gusto ko yung energy nyo, na-excite kayo sa estate tax, ibig sabihin talaga, no? Madami tayong i-build na assets, okay? So, that's why this is our recommended structure when it comes to financial planning, okay? And so, having said that, babalik lang ako dito, kasi payat pa ako sa picture na yan, so gusto ko i-share sa inyo. Hindi. Pero gusto ko siya i-share sa inyo because I would like you to focus on the last bullet. Actually, suot ko nga, no, itong shirt ng Sun Life, no. I would like to share with you dahil bilang ang title ng ating event ngayon is Restarting Your Financial Journey, no. Meron akong dalawang very personal stories that I would like to share. And hopefully, this is something that makapulutan ng lessons for you or even for your followers para mas wider reach tayo. So, una, when I graduated, 3 resumes lang yung pinrint ko talaga. Yung isa, pinasa ko sa company kung saan yung barkada ko nag-a-apply. So, syempre,